tell you.
Yeah,
I mean, I was just asking. I didn't want them to win because then they'd claim that I hit him. Of course, he'd have been hurt. The cops will take to jail whoever hurt somebody. I wanted to punch that vampire so bad.
Well, there's also
I just know that jaw would have. And just
there's also that really big guy that you talk to, and he says, "Yep, we're not gonna be goaded into doing that. We're going to not take the bait that they're trying to offer us. We're going to just stand them down." That's what he did as well.
Yeah, and that guy was probably like 240 pounds of solid muscle. That guy.
Yeah. He was much bigger than those guys. And
all those really tough guys though are into like not getting in fights, and they have to be controlling it. Like Joe Rogan, when people attack him, which he's not that big of a guy.
Norris or whatever.
Yeah, they just slam him into the wall, throw him on the ground.
Yeah.
On Fear Factor, repeatedly Joe would get attacked, and he just just direct him into the wall or into the ground. Me, I don't know how to do all that. I just knock people upside the head.
I know you were like, come on, bump into me one more time. I was like, no, please, don't bump into him.
But then he did it a couple more times, and but the last thing, I just couldn't. But I saw him smiling like he was going to get what he wanted. I went, oh, I'm just,
Yeah. Well, that's their whole thing, just anarchic.
It'd have felt good, though.
Yeah.
I'm not into violence, but vampires, I mean, it would just be so satisfying.
Alex Jones, a vampire slayer. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I mean, well, this is a demon. I mean, a literal demon. You guys want to come back and do one more segment, put bookends on this?
Sure, we can do that.
We'll get all these videos and articles up. Great job, everybody. I'm going to go do some accounting work and try to get the TV network system launched. But we're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Thanks for all your support. When we come back, we got a plug, too.
Yeah, we did. Silver. Of everything that was going on with this live broadcast, we did very few commercials. We skipped some commercial breaks, studio breaks. There are 72 hours left on the summer sale of the new Super Female Vitality. You can get 20% off for just 72 hours more. Again, read the reviews. We have hundreds of 5-star reviews on InfoWarsLife.com, and you can get Super Male and Super Female Vitality for 20% off for just another 72 hours. And, of course, that supports our operation, helps to get free speech out there. And this is what this is all about, isn't it, Leanne? This was about the reason Alex left the studio and went down to the demonstration was because these people from Red Guard Austin showed up not to exercise their free speech, not to say what they believe, but to shut down the free speech of others, literally taking black tarps and holding them up over people's signs. And they would not speak except to say once or twice it's racism, it's feminist, anti-woman, all this kind of stuff. But these are the people who are, you were telling me on Facebook, they say, come learn about Stalin.
Right. They hold a weekly meetings, and one of the weekly meetings, there's a picture of it there. It says, come to the meeting this week and learn about our young comrade Stalin. So they're wanting to teach people about the young Stalin and the young Mao.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Free mass murder.
It's not surprising that the people who are holding up as idols, people like Stalin, people like Mao, who have created massive democides, killing millions, tens of millions of people in the 20th century, that they would also show up at Planned Parenthood in support of the genocide going on against black people. That was the purpose of creating that organization. The founder, Margaret Sanger, specifically set it up for a black genocide. There's many quotes about her saying that.
Right.
That's what we're trying to educate people about. We want people to come learn about Margaret Sanger, come learn about Planned Parenthood, and at the same time, learn about Stalin, learn about Mao, understand the democide that was going on and continues to go on in places like China, where they have a one-child policy and forced abortions.
Exactly. It's kind of divine intervention that it was that particular group that decided to show up, because now we can, right in your face, we can expose how these Soros-led groups are infiltrating the Black Lives Matter movement. They're on their Facebook page, their supporters are yelling back and forth with our supporters, who, by the way, Info Warriors dominate their Facebook page. But they're going back and forth saying, how dare you use the Black Lives Matter movement to push your pro-life agenda?
Yeah.
But they're using it to push a communist agenda. Like, how does that even work?
Yeah. If Black Lives Matter, why wouldn't they really matter at a young age?
Right.
Of course, it is all based on lies. They don't try to argue with anybody. They simply want you to come to their meetings so you will hear only one side of their narrative, their false narrative about Stalin, that is just as false as the narrative that we're hearing from the GOP, from Marco Rubio and Peter King, when they flat out deny that the NSA is collecting your information. They are lying to you. That's one of the techniques. One of the, of course, they want to try to shut people down with censorship, but of course the other thing is to not debate the issue, but just to repeat emphatically an obvious lie. That's what we see from the government all the time. We see it from the GOP as well as from the Democrats, especially from these communists at the Red Guard Austin.
And what are they telling people, that it's going to be better when the
Hey, guys,
USA
on screen,
becomes Cuba? Or
looks like our fans just hijacked their Facebook.
yeah,
Oh,
that's what
okay.
I'm saying.
Joseph
They're
Watson.
That's
They're
what Leanne was
dominating.
saying. As you can see there on the screen, it's our fans
Truth
are
to the
putting
lies.
up commercials about how to go to the InfoWars store and buy stuff.
Like, here's
that's a
Margaret
good way to do
Sanger.
it.
Here's what
That's right.
who the Red Guards really were.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's what they support.
They don't want to show up and have that discussion when we put the microphone in their face at the demonstration. They would not talk about that because they want to put forth their false narrative in a venue where nobody is going to challenge them about that. And of course, we need to understand the nexus of the surveillance state, of censorship, of genocide. All these things come together. They're always pushed by the same people, just as we see the so-called pro-choice legislators who are pushing informed consent being banned from people, forcing you to take vaccines without your consent, without any information about what's in it. That's the kind of authoritarian mindset that we see, and that's what whistleblowers like William Binney have pointed out. Peter King and Marco Rubio, you need to listen to William Binney. He's been there. He was the head, the global head of the technology side of the NSA. He said, I watched the authoritarian police states in East Germany and the Soviet Union, and we have become that. It's not even a question. Peter King says, we're just spreading fear. You know who's spreading fear? The people who are selling this authoritarian police state are the ones who justify it by spreading fear. They tell you, give up your liberties for security.
Useful idiots.
That's right. Join us tonight for the InfoWars Nightly News. Leanne is going to be hosting, and we're going to have some updates on what happened. We'll encapsulate that and show you the clips.
We're on the